Hey everybody, Kelly here. So those were just some images of the craziness that I've got going on in my sewing room right now. Sorry, I just knocked something over. Well, as you can see, I still have my Halloween quilt up. I've been working on a lot of scrappiness. So I was going to get started on my fall barn quilt, but I know what it was. I saw the video by Moody Girl Creates recently where she showed the spooky box from Fat Quarter Shop, and I liked it, so I wanted to get it. So I got it, but I told myself that when I get it, I need to put it away for next year, but I will take the goodies out of it. But the quilt I'm actually going to put away to do next year for Halloween. And my telling myself I could get it was that I took care of all the leftover Halloween scraps that I have from years past. So, like, I have to make myself that little promise that I will make things and get rid of some things in order to get something else right. So I made that little promise, so I have not started the fall barn quilt just yet, but I went ahead and gathered a bunch of my scraps and started making some Halloween type items using those scraps. So what you saw was a little bit of clips of, you know, stuff like this is me actually piecing together fronts and backs for some bags that I'm going to make. So, and also I need to show you one quick thing, which you'll see more of at the end of this video. But, so the beginning is going to be the end, and I'm going to say, it still doesn't fit. So you'll understand this when we get to the end. It's okay, it fits okay enough. But I am going to go ahead and do the binding on this, and it will fit okay and be somewhat scrappy and cutesy for a little Halloween decoration, and possibly I might wear it to work, but I've made myself some ties to go with it just because it doesn't quite sit down on my head well enough. But it's supposed to be a cutesy kind of scrappy tattered witch's hat. So, it'll probably mostly just be decoration in my house. So, and the other one that I started with is actually about child size, so but you can find that on Fat Quarter Shop on the Jolly Jabber blog, and when they say they make a note that if you want it to sit down further on your head, you actually need to widen the curve out. I did not probably either notice or pay attention to that little hint. And so it very much, this one's better than the first one, but it very much sits on top of your head, or my head anyhow. And so I will finish that, but in the meantime, the next thing I wanted to show you was, you probably saw it already just like me, but the spooky box from Fat Quarter Shop. Just to quickly go through what's in it that, you know, that I really wanted, made me want to get it. So, alright. So, in the past, I've done the spooky boxes from Fat Quarter Shop just without ever knowing what, it was a mystery. Without ever seeing anybody else's video, I went ahead and put in the reservation for it. But this year, I told myself not to get it. I just have so much stash that I need to go through, and so I didn't go ahead and order it to begin with. And when I saw it on Moody Girl Creates and probably a couple other people that I watch too, there was just some really cutesy stuff in it, so I had to. But like I said, I had to make myself that promise that I used some other thing, or, you know, made up some other things. So I will be continuing to work on those this weekend. But the box actually has in it, I believe it's, you get a free item if you purchase $25 from them before from Fat Quarter Shop before like a certain date in November. So I think it's a free needle minder that you would get for buying the box, and like a code that you have to put in. I don't know. Hopefully I'm not showing it right now. But anyhow, to show what is actually in the box. Okay, and they come with these little cards that give you a description on what all is in it and what they're called and who did it. So first thing I saw was a leather rotary sheath holder. Well, I actually thought of this and thought, so depending on your rotary cutter style, this doesn't actually work for all of them. But yeah, so it doesn't necessarily fit for this one. This is an old one though, so I have some other ones that it definitely will work for. But I actually thought too, it would be really nice for just some scissors. And it's also a nice eyeglass case, which I might use it for an eyeglass case because I actually have the pair eyewear frames. And so whenever I want to carry some extra frames around, just in case I want to, like for vacation or things like that, it's nice to have an extra case. So nice to have an extra case for scissors too. But anyhow, there's that. And then next thing is actually a ruler to go with the, oop, my box is falling here. A candy corn ruler that is going to be needed, I think, for the pattern, if I remember correctly. I'm going to set that off to the side. And the number one thing everybody wants to see is the fabric, but actually let's start with the pattern. Isn't that cute? I can't wait. It's like 40.5 by 43.5, so it's a cute wall hanging, and looks super easy, but still has some interest in the house, in the little houses in the center, so, and the bats on the side. So super cute. Trying to remember, the fabric is actually from Kimberbell. That's the other reason that I really liked this box, because I like a lot of Kimberbell designs. So, in fact, let me go ahead and open this up to show the fabrics. I'll show you the first one there while I'm opening it. I should have maybe done this already. So we'll get that out of the way, and then just to give a little bit of a flip through. So I love the potion bottles, etc. It's really cute. There's little owls and like keys and owls and trees and pumpkins on the couple of these fabrics. Orange with pumpkins. And let's see. Pumpkins, witches, skeletons, etc. That's just the black version there. And let's see. So that's the black version of the one with the owls. So very cute. Too cute to spook. That's what the name of the line is. Took me a minute to remember. Actually, it's pumpkins and potions, but they've got the little sign, too cute to spook. So that's adorable. I can't wait to do this next year, but it is going to hold off till next year because I'm kind of ready to be done with Halloween here very shortly. Well, obviously it's in what, 4 days, 5 days? Today is October 26th? Yes, October 26th. So, I just love that. Candle, let's see. This was the bonus in the box. Jack-o'-lantern candle by Big Dipper Waxworks. Spooky box exclusive, value $7.98. And I can believe it, because candles are expensive these days. But Smells very nice. Well, it actually smells a little bit spicy for pumpkin, but it smells very nice. It's so cute. And I love candles, so that's awesome. And rickrack. Always love to get some rickrack. And I especially love the spools that Lori Holt puts them on. This is going to make some really nice finishes, not only for a couple of quilts. Not sure if I saw it actually being used in this particular one, but you could actually put the rickrack along the binding, like Lori Holt usually does, and that would make it extra cute on there. And I actually have some uses for the spools these days. I have some cross stitches that I'm going to go ahead and make. Trying to think of the name of the one. It was was it by Brenda Gervais, or no, Stacy Nash's little characters. One of them was a little mouse that was perched on top of a spool and had a needle in the cross. It was really cute. I don't think I have the pattern to show you. But anyhow, that's super cute. And the last thing in the box, you know, like I said, it's a lot of pretty cool stuff in here. Actually, there's something. Oh, that's just paper. Okay. The last thing in the box is a beautiful bobbin topper set. So I just love the tin. Isn't that cute? I love the tin. But let's take a look here. Sorry again, more plastic sounds. Let's get that off of there. But they're the little ones that you stick down into the spool of thread, and then you can put the bobbin on the top. So I actually have a bunch of these, so I will probably go ahead and put those all together and then use the tin for something else. Which that's kind of, that's actually kind of scary. It's got another little part and I just dropped it on the floor, so I'll get it here in a little bit. But yeah, I'll probably put these actually with the other ones that I have and then use this little tin for something else, like needles. I even thought about making a little candle in this, which is, actually that's probably most likely what I'll do. A little candle in there, because that's cute, because then you can just seal it back up again when you're not using the candle. So anyhow, that's super cute, and can't wait to do that project next year. But like I said, gotta work on some of this stuff and get it made up, and I'm making bags out of a lot of it, so I may sell a few of them. I might give a few away, and I may come up with some more cross stitches that I need to do, and I need some bags for them, right? So along that line, let's talk about some cross stitch. So what have I been working on? What have I got done? All right, what have I got done? Finishes. This one right here. All right, so this is a Teresa Kogut pattern, which all of a sudden, oh, this is terrible. All of a sudden, I cannot remember the book that it came from. Oh, I know. Her Halloween book is what it came from. And I'm forgetting the title of this one, but it's in the Halloween book, and it's on like 32 counts that I dyed myself. And so I just think it turned out fairly cute. I need to iron it. This is actually just needing to be ironed. I do kind of wish that I'd started a little further over, because this had a pretty dramatic purple line here, but once that irons out, I think it'll be very cute. And I actually dyed some of my own thread too for the orange pumpkin, but I ran out of a little bit of it, so I kind of had already like stitched here and stitched there and stitched there a little bit because I knew I might be a little bit short. So there's a couple little dark spots in it, but I think it turned out pretty okay. And I am planning to make a pillow out of this. So for the pillow, I need some people to comment and let me know what I should do, because I'm thinking either I will just do a black backing for this, which I'll just pick a solid black fabric. I don't have it over here right now, but I'm thinking either a solid black fabric for the back, or I was kind of thinking about using another scrap piece and using this one right here. It's kind of more, oh, I don't know what, slightly different shades of purple is, I guess, what I'm going for, or what I'm trying to say. So I don't know if I will really like that, because it's maybe a little bit too different in color. So I need somebody to give me some ideas. Do you think I should go with just solid black? Should I go with the cats? One thing I will say is that I am just going to use the fabric on the back. I'm not going to frame it or anything with the fabric. I'm going to just use it on the back. And I may try to find some trim, like some, not rickrack, what am I trying to say? Like the little baubles. And try to find some, probably either black or purple, I don't know. But I'll try to find a little trim to make the pillow a little cuter. But anyhow, that's my one finish, so yeah, so there's that. And then what else have I been working on down here? So this one is actually going get retired for the year. So, oh, and I should have brought the picture, or had the picture out beforehand. Sorry about this. I think I've said this like 3 times already, that I keep forgetting to put the picture in the front. But The Quilted Witch by Lori Holt, that's the other stitch that I've been working on lately. And I'm sorry, I'll put that back later. I just kind of threw it on the floor. Oopsie. Alright, so this is my progress on The Quilted Witch. So mine has had to be just a little bit off from the chart. So what happened was, I was going to start with this square or block right here, and I thought the red's gonna blend in here. Some reason I didn't think, just change the red. I thought, well, I can move this over here and then I'll just squish the motifs together a little bit, and it's going fine. It's just, why didn't I just change the color of the red and have it over here and not have to adjust everything? And so it is going fine. There's a couple little weird spots, but it's mostly okay. And so obviously, I've got her top part done, but I still need to work on the quilted skirt and finish up my cat here, and then some motifs, and the broom is down here at the bottom. So I've finished up the cat, I'll finish up the skirt, then I'll put the motifs in. That way I know how I needed to adjust the little motifs. I think I only had to leave one of them actually out up here. And other than that, the only area that I kind of ran into a problem was I forgot to, well, actually, this is one of the places I ran into a problem too, and I had already had this one stitched when I started to stitch this one, and realized that this block was going to hit. So I'd done this color after I'd done all the others, so then I had to kind of like shrink that up and shrink up the other sides. Well, not that side, but anyhow, it's coming together. It'll be fine. But she's gonna get put away for the year, so I will go ahead and take her off the scroll frame and put her back into her bag to go take a rest until next October probably, or September maybe. Okay, so other Halloween stitch that I've been working on is by Blackbird Designs. You've probably seen this on a few cross stitch channels. Let's see, who would that be? Oh, so many people are working on this one, and I just can't think of anybody right now. So that's crazy. Away We Ride by Blackbird Designs. So I just love this. I thought of it kind of like a sampler. Not exactly, obviously, but I've kind of thought about that because of the border. So I actually stitched it a bit in September. So I am doing this on 32 count raw silver. I think it's giving it a little bit of a upscale kind of flair. I don't know. That's probably not exactly what I mean, but I think it's making it a little bit more interesting to me anyhow. Yeah, so this is how far I've gotten for now. Sorry about the thread over there, but I just kind of tucked it out of the way until I can get to it again. And I think this one's going to get retired here for the year anyhow, till like September, October, just like the Quilted Witch. So let me tuck this back into this bag here, and I have that in my big old Blackbird Designs bag, which I love that panel, so I just love that bag. One thing though is going forward, I am going to make some of my bags just a little bit taller. I need them to fit a 22-inch scroll frame, so. Alright, so I've been working on that one, and then I've had a Stitching with the Housewives pattern. Let's see if I can find it here. This one right here, called Hello My Pretties, and it was part of their All Jarred Up series. One thing that I am finding is it's kind of not my favorite just because I don't have the rest of the patterns in that series, and so it's kind of an oddball to have it like, why is there a witch coming out of a mason jar kind of a thing. But it's cutesy and I like it, and I will continue to stitch on it. Honestly, she's probably gonna go away for the year and come back out next September as well. This particular bag is actually a Lori Holt bag, and it's got all kinds of other stitches by Stitching with the Housewives, because I really do like their patterns, and so there's a bunch of them in here, and even though that's a Halloween one, it'll stay in here with the other Stitching with the Housewives charts. Alright, so one that I am going to try to finish here in the next couple of days before Halloween. Actually, there's several in here. Sorry, I'm talking into the bag here. Oh, and I think I just flashed the pattern, or the chart. This is Western Witch by Kathy Barrick. And I just think it's really cute. Anything with horses. So this actually is probably going to be a little pillow by the time it's done. And for some reason I have a string and I'm losing my needle. But this is how far I've gotten. I at least got her boots on, and I'm starting to do a little bit of the pumpkin face right there. But yeah, that's not just the toe of her boot, it's also a pumpkin eye. But anyhow, and I started in the left top hand corner, and I just don't have the color that's called for the 2 gravestones. So I went over and stitched on her. And this actually ought to hopefully be done before Halloween. So this particular bag is one that I made up with J. Wecker Frisch panels. And it actually houses other patterns that I will work on next year. So Let Them Eat Candy by Hands On Design, I believe. Yep, Hands On Design. I've got some free patterns inside this little pouch here. The Haunted Halloween from Fat Quarter Shop. And I think Bats and Booze from Fat Quarter Shop. So if you go to Fat Quarter Shop's blog, they actually have, or maybe it's just their Fat Quarter Shop website, but they have several freebie cross stitches that you can get. And then this one was a freebie that I got in an order, and it's scary for the outside of a mesh bag from Shepherd's Bush. So I have a pink one for Valentine's, but I don't have the black and white one like that. So, but I love the little chart, and I might put it on something at some point. Maybe make a little pillow or something out of it. So, anyhow, that's that bag. And this one is going to go into the other room with me to be stitched on. So I'm going to set that off to the side over here. Okay, well, that was an awful lot. But I do have one other thing. So, a few weeks ago, honestly, the days are, it had to have been at least 3 weeks ago, I had talked on my previous video about our vacation to Door County, and that while we were heading over from Minnesota to Door County, we actually stopped outside of Appleton, Wisconsin, at Larson, Wisconsin, at Primitive Gatherings. And that when we stopped there, I got a few things from Lisa Bonjean, Primitive Gatherings store. And so on our way back from Door County to home, we actually went back and stayed in Prairie du Chien, Wisconsin. Well, is it Wisconsin or it's on the river somewhere. I think it's Wisconsin. But anyhow, on our way from Door County over to there, we actually were about 15 minutes from Spring Green, Wisconsin, where Country Sampler is. And Country Sampler is an awesome store for cross stitch. So, and I know that now because I got to go. Yeah, because I got to go see it. So, this is a bag of some items from Country Sampler. And as you can see, they make it up all nice and etc. So I actually purchased, I think, 1 or 2 items upstairs in the main part of the store. But then downstairs they actually have their 70% off area. And so I got quite a few things from there. And I have left it closed up since we got back from vacation, just so that I could share it with you today on this video. So, I'm going to forget what all's in here, I'm sure. Or I have forgotten a couple of them, anyhow. But of course I remember a few, so. But I'm bound to come across something that I forgot that I found that. But anyhow, very, very cute bag. Sorry for the rustling. Let me try to grab everything out of here. And I'm going to save this little bag just because I think it's very cute and would make a nice project bag. So, a top 10 quilt shop in 2000. And it's got their store information on it. So, I will keep that. So, what did I get? let's see, so a fat eighth from Needle Bling, 56 count fat eighth fabric Needle Bling color suede. I have never stitched on 56 count before, so we're gonna give this a try. But I think it's gonna be really pretty. I'm not gonna take it out of the bag because I will lose track of what I'm doing. This is a Fox and Rabbit 40 count, and what, 10 by, so it's like a 10-inch half piece of baked clay. And before I got this, I hadn't quite started my recent, well, maybe I had. I've got one project on 40 count, and I hadn't put too many stitches into it, so I wasn't sure how big of a 40 count piece I wanted to get, so I just got this little bit. So that's gonna be cutesy, or you know, gonna have something really cute on that. And yeah, baked clay, so that's a good color. Alright, so stitches. What did I get? This is my, well, I was going to say it was my favorite one in the bunch, but I don't know that it's my favorite so much as it is I'm really, really happy to have gotten it. I've seen quite a few people that have stitched it already. It's Casting a Spell from Blackbird Designs. So I'm working on collecting my Blackbird design charts. But anyhow, Carol, the Saltbox Stitcher, was just showing hers on her last video. And I adore it. She got the box from Hobby Lobby. I'm going to go try to look and see if maybe my store here would have it this year, or if I can maybe order it online, something like that. Otherwise, I know who can make this. So, and I could probably do a fair job of it, but I know that Dad could do it for me. If I beg and plead, no. He would make this for me, so... but anyhow, she was showing it. Stephanie at Cross Stitch the Globe, she's working on this. I believe it's actually a sal that she's got going on. I will try to remember and post that on here if I can remember what the hashtag is. Alright, so anyhow, I won't get this started probably this year. Well, maybe I'll get it kitted up this weekend, and maybe I'll be able to do, you know, one little thing or something. But I think actually that I'll probably just put it in the bag with my other Blackbird design, Away We Ride, and next year. Alright, in fact, I'll do that right now. I think that's what I'm going to do. So, okay, next pattern. Actually, this one is a book, and I should have maybe, I'll show you the book. And so it's called Between Friends, A Spring Sampling, Hands-on Design, and Summer House Stitchworks. So, for right now, I'm going to set this book aside, and on one of my next upcoming videos, I'll maybe show some of the patterns that I actually would like to stitch. So, but it's actually a fairly recent one. I believe it just came out. Or no, this might be the one that they've done two of them now. And this might be the one that they had already done. Yeah, 2023. So, this is the one that they'd already done. And they've just released a second one that I really like too. So, and it might be, well, this is a spring sampling. It might be a different season. I can't remember for sure. Sorry, my brain's kind of, I don't remember. Alright, so next thing that I got in the 70% off was Egg Collector by Teresa Kogut. And this is one that I had seen this spring, and I really, really wanted to get it, but I was good and I didn't, and so now I'm kind of glad because I got it for 70% off. So it's just really cute. It's going to be perfect for around Easter, and honestly I will probably stitch this up one of these spring days, or several spring seasons. I will stitch this up and it'll just hang on my wall year round because it's really cute. So all right, this is going to be perfect for coming up. Tree Farm by the Primitive Hare. I love the little snow globe, love the little farm fresh Christmas trees. My Gramps actually used to work at a Christmas tree farm, so this will remind me of him. Well, everything reminds me of my grandparents, but this will definitely remind me of him each year. So the Nebby Needle Pollinator's Garden, and that, just thought that was a cute little, I like the finish on that too, so that was a cute little one. Let's see, let's see, Little Robin Designs High Flying Bunny. So that'll be cute for spring. I think that'll be a fairly quick one too. Well, maybe not too quick, but I think it's, what is it? 241 by 166. So that shouldn't take too terribly long. All right, a Plum Street Samplers Live on Little. I've seen a lot of people that have been stitching on this. It's actually more sizable than what it looks there in the picture, and so it will be one that I probably will kit up in the spring, and will take me a while. Let's see. And 307 by 207. That's not too bad. Yeah, that's not too bad at all, so it might be fine. Alright, well, that's what I picked up from Country Sampler. So, looking forward to those. Most of these will be spring or summertime. So, that's kind of perfect because it'll take me a little while to get it kitted. And in the meantime, I have all kinds of scraps that I need to get sewn together, and other stitches planned for November and December. And yeah, lots of good stuff to be working on. So next thing quilting wise will be, after I get all these scraps made up this weekend, the next quilt thing will be the fall barn quilt. And I am gonna do that this month. Then again, I may have to make another quilt that I have to give for, or that I'm going to give for Christmas. So, yeah, I think that's probably going to take priority. So the fall barn quilt might be next year. Alright, well anyhow, I am going to thank you for watching. I do have a little bit more video to show of the witch's hat. But if you want to take off, I'm just going to thank you for watching right here. And please do let me know what you think I should actually... Where did it go? I probably lost it here somewhere. What fabric should I use to go with my Halloween cross stitch? Should I use the cats? Should I use just a solid black? What do you think? Alright, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time. Bye. So I'm going to use the tutorial from the Fat Quarter Shop's Jolly Jabber to make a scrappy witch's hat. So the tutorial calls for using either charm packs or mini charm packs. I actually have here just a whole bunch of scraps from Halloween. So I have the first 18 by 18 panel that we need to make put together already, and I'm going to cut the cone out now, and then I'm actually going to take the scraps from the cone and somehow figure out how to sew them back together to make the brim as well. Either that, or I do have some other scraps that I might sew for another 18. You're supposed to have two 18 by 18 inch panels. And so I may have enough scraps to go ahead and sew another one, but I just thought, you know what, if I cut the cone out, I might be able to utilize these scraps as well. And we'll see what I can come up with here. But for right now, I'm going to go ahead and mark to make the cone before I actually cut it out. So you're supposed to do a 14-inch diagonal. Oh, and my pen's not wanting to work very well. I tell you what, I might just go ahead and cut it. So that's the first side. And then I should be able to, so this is a 15-inch ruler. So should be able to line this up on the 1-inch mark. Well, all of a sudden, I knew I needed to not cut it first. I've got too much of an angle. Okay, so it was supposed to be 14 inches down. I might have messed up. I think I can still salvage it though. Let's see, actually, yeah, it's supposed to be 14 inches down at the sides. I think I was just thinking at an angle from the halfway point. So let me get a measurement over here. So basically I made my block a little bit large, so I think I'm about 4.5 inches up from the bottom, because it's about 18.5 inches instead of 18 by 18. So double checking, yep, that's about right. So really it should have been a cut on more of an angle like that. Okay. Now I've got it. Alright. So I may not be able to use all of these pieces after all. We'll see. And I'm not going to be exactly right. As you can see, I could go grab a longer ruler, but I'm just doing mine super scrappy, just for a bit of decoration. I might wear it to work. We'll see. All depends on how it comes out. But then, yeah, so I have a bunch of other scraps that I'm going to go ahead and sew together, and we'll see if maybe I need some pieces out of this to go in that. Alright, and then you're supposed to go 15 inches down from the top. So I've got a 15-inch ruler, so I can kind of, and then when you cut, it's to be a bit of an arc. Although that's not much of an arc. I might do, well, I hate to change it up too much, but it looks like it's, boy, that doesn't feel like an inch difference. Okay, well, I might cut it with just a little bit more of an arc than what that's given me. Maybe I had my ruler a little high. Nope, that's right up to the tip. Okay, well, I might give myself a little bit more arc. Okay, I think I've got it now. 15 inches down from the top, 14 inches down on the sides. And they show just cutting out the curve out of the solid piece, but I think I'm going to go with matching up my two sides where the 14-inch mark was, and then just try to cut through all the layers here. And you can see I didn't do a great job of marking, so I'm going to have to try to curve this just a little bit more there. So we'll see. And I might come just a little bit this side of the 15-inch mark, just to give myself a little room. And I'm going to try to keep my fingers out of the way. And I'm not sure I'm cutting all the way through. And I might be pushing my fabric a little bit. And I might need a new blade. I tell you what, let's do this a different way. Some good, sharp scissors sometimes. Just make sure that I'm coming through all the layers. There we go. Alright, so it looks a little on the small side, but I think it'll be alright. So hopefully I've got a cute cone top there. Alright, and now I'm going to take all my scraps, see what I can do with that. And like I said, I've got some other scrap fabric that I could go ahead and put batting in and sew on some chunks and make my brim. Okay, so like I said, I'm making this super scrappy. I'm going to use the pieces that I cut out from making the cone shape on my hat. I've sewed up another piece of scraps here. I actually put a piece of binding, well, I sewed a whole other thing, a piece of scraps for the backing here. And actually this might be my front, but I've got it upside down right now because it is an 18 by 18 piece. I've sewed this little piece together, put a piece of batting in, I put some fusible down, and then I'm just going to take these scraps and kind of fill in so that I can go ahead and iron this down and fuse it together. Well, I had them in here in a certain way. How did I have them? Let's see. I think I might have had that one. And I might have had that one in there. And I just want to get them fused together enough to be able to do a zigzag stitch around each of the pieces here, and then be able to cut out my hat brim. So, and this piece right here. And I think the arc that the hat brim's going to take means I won't need anything right there. And if I'm wrong, I'm going to have to go find something. So, alright. So I'm just going to go ahead and fuse all this down. And then I will mark out my hat brim. And I will bring you back when I got that cut out. Alright, so I made a silly mistake in my witch's hat, and so now I have a child size hat, or a decoration, whichever I decide to do with it. And I had plenty of scraps, so I'm going to go ahead and make up another one. But what I had done was actually, from the center, from the top center, sorry you guys are kind of at an angle here, but from the top center right over here, down to the edge, which is off camera I'm realizing, down to the edge over here, I actually just kind of put my ruler from the center to the edge and did a 14-inch cut. And I think what they were actually calling for was 14 inches down from the top. So that's what I've done this time. I just measured 14 inches down from the top and then took my arc up to the center of the fabric, which actually was like a 17-inch cut. So this is a 15-inch ruler right here. And so it was actually probably a 16, 17-inch cut. So anyhow, that'll make it just a little bit larger there. And then they said 15 inches down from the center, but that if you wanted it to sit on your head a little bit more and be a little more laid back, that your arc would need to be like an inch or two further down. And that's what was throwing me off too, because their diagram, you know, from the 14 inches on the edge to 15 inches through the center, their diagram actually had a much wider, deeper arc. And so I think I've got it now, hopefully. And if it's not just right, that's fine. But I'm cutting off the edges right now, and I'm actually coming up with some ideas that I might actually sew these edges back together and make myself a scrappy little pouch to go in my cross stitch, something like that. So, but anyhow, let me continue cutting off the edges here. I'm going to cut another arc, and then I will cut my band and show you my final witch's hat, which hopefully will fit.